On May 10, 1996, a deadly blizzard transformed Mount Everest into a frozen graveyard, claiming 8 lives in a single night. Welcome to the Secret Tales Chronicles, where we uncover the darkest mysteries of our world. Was this a tale of human error, or nature's merciless wrath? Let's dive into the chilling truth. It's the spring of 1996, and Mount Everest is buzzing with activity. Two legendary guides, Rob Hall and Scott Fischer, lead rival expeditions up the world's highest peak. Hall's adventure consultants and Fischer's mountain madness teams are packed. Over 30 climbers, far too many for the mountain's narrow routes. This isn't just a climb. It's a commercial venture, driven by wealthy clients chasing glory. But a dangerous mindset takes hold: summit fever. Climbers push onward, ignoring warnings, desperate to reach the top before the weather turns. The teams set out on May 6, battling thin air and exhaustion. By May 10, they're nearing the summit, but trouble is brewing. Overcrowding slows their progress, and critical time slips away. Little do they know, a storm is gathering force, ready to unleash chaos above 8,000 meters, the death zone, where oxygen is scarce and survival hangs by a thread. At 1 p.m. on May 10, the unthinkable happens. A ferocious blizzard slams into Everest, with winds gusting over 70 miles per hour and visibility dropping to zero. Snow buries the fixed ropes, leaving climbers stranded. Rob Hall is with Doug Hansen, a client he's determined to get to the summit. They're still 300 meters below the top when the storm hits. Meanwhile, Scott Fischer's team, including guide Anatoly Bukreev, struggles to descend. The cold is brutal. Temperatures plummet to -40 degrees Fahrenheit. Climbers huddle against the mountain, their oxygen tanks running dry. Hall radios base camp, his voice faint, promising to stay with Hansen. Hours pass, and the storm worsens. By nightfall, the situation turns desperate. Climbers like Yasuko Namba and Seiwan Samanla are lost in the whiteout, their headlamps dimming. Fischer, exhausted from helping others, collapses near the south kernel. The mountain becomes a labyrinth of ice and wind, swallowing hope. Rescue attempts falter. Guides can't see, and the risk is too high. As the night drags on, the death toll begins to rise, and the mountain claims its victims one by one. By May 11, the grim reality sets in. 8 climbers are dead, including Rob Hall and Scott Fischer. Hall, still tethered to Hansen, freezes to death after a final radio call to his wife, saying goodbye. Fischer's body is found later, overcome by exhaustion and altitude. Among the victims are Namba, Samanla, and 3 Indian climbers trapped by the storm's fury. Rescue efforts are chaotic. Anatoly Bukreev braves the storm, saving several, but many are beyond help. Base camp receives desperate pleas, but the whiteout grounds helicopters. Survivors like John Krakauer, a journalist on Hall's team, recount the horror: bodies littering the route, abandoned gear scattered by the wind. The mountain's silence is deafening as the living struggle to comprehend the loss. News spreads worldwide, shocking the climbing community. But amid the tragedy, one story emerges that defies belief: a tale of survival against all odds. Meet Beck Weathers, a Texan doctor on Hall's team. On May 10, he's left for dead, his face frostbitten, hands useless from hypothermia. The storm blinds him, and his team assumes he's gone. They cover him with snow and move on. But something incredible happens. On May 11, as the storm eases, Weathers wakes from a hypothermic coma. His survival instinct kicks in, he's disoriented, barely alive, yet he stands. With no sight and frozen limbs, he stumbles toward camp, crawling over 300 meters through the snow. Rescuers spot him, a ghostly figure against the white. They rush him down, but his condition is dire. His nose and hands are black with frostbite. Against all odds, he survives surgery and returns home, a living miracle. Weathers later reflects, "I shouldn't be here." His story inspires awe, but it also raises questions: why were so many left behind? The 1996 disaster exposes the mountain's dangers and the human choices that amplified them. So, who's responsible for this tragedy? Some blame commercialization. Too many climbers, too little experience. Others point to summit fever, pushing teams past safety limits. Guides like Hall and Fischer faced impossible choices. Save themselves or their clients? The storm was unpredictable, but delays in the death zone sealed their fate. Was it nature's wrath or human hubris? The debate rages on. What do you think caused this disaster? Comment below with your theory, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the Secret Tales Chronicles for more chilling stories from the edge of survival. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.